Okay guys, hello and welcome to my channel. I've been waiting for this because I wanted to make videos about the Superman teasers, but I know the trailer was gonna drop at some point, and it did drop right now. And today, Wednesday, May 14th, we have the actual trailer. We see the story, we see everything. I can't really play the music or the sound too loud because I'm gonna get copyrighted. Let's see what happens with Warner Brothers. Last time, just to play the little bit of the teaser, they copyrighted me for about a month. So, but the thing that I wanted to talk about this trailer, other than just watching and react to it, we can see what this movie was going to be, or it is going to be about. Because we were trying to figure it out, what the Superman gonna be, why so many superheroes, what's going on. We finally get to see Martha Kent as well, because I was worried that Martha would not be around, and she's like I don't know, I think she looks really good. There she is. And but the whole trailer, if you look at it, it means Superman is trying to do the right thing. He just now tells Lois, and I don't know if it's going to be at the beginning of the movie or not, that he's Superman. And even Lois did not believe that he's Superman, even without the glasses and the hair stuff. He changed his voice in the trailer. You can see they changed his voice to say, "Hello, Miss Lane," like the Superman voice. So he's already playing the two characters very well. Clark Kent, for the little bit that we've seen. But I like the lore of the Superman, because Superman taking these glasses off and then you don't know it's Superman just because he's got glasses on or not. So he played a little bit of the lore, and when the character was created back then, he had the glasses, he had the suit, the tie, he had the hat. He goes to this Daily Planet, and you can be a little bit different. If you act like you don't exist and move around, they won't see you. People were walking around pass you and they won't see you. But in this case, they doing that, and I love it, because that's the beginning of the trailer, rather, what I was talking to you about. And he's finally telling Lois that he's Superman. She wants to record it. She wants to have the first interview, and he's using that silly voice, like Clark Kent voice, and then he says, "Hello, Miss Lane," and I love that part. But not only that, the whole thing that I think on the trailer, and this is a little bit of maybe for what I've seen, and if you don't want to know about it, just watch the trailer. But for what I've seen on the trailer, is Superman is trying to stop a war in Boravia. I can't remember the name of the place. There's a war, and I think they're there, and I think the American military is involved in that. The whole thing is Lex Luthor is behind that war. He's selling guns and weapons to this other country, and he's trying to benefit himself out of that war. So he's the one pro-war on that case, but on the background, so they won't know. So Superman goes there. He does the right thing. He's telling Lois Lane, "I don't care. I don't care, about United States policies or whatever. I don't care about talking to a president. It's the right thing. I stop people from dying. I stop war. That's the whole purpose for I'm here. I need to do the right thing. I need to stop people." So I think that's what the whole premise of the movie is, when he gets involved in that, and then being Luthor behind it, it gets people riled up, looking at him kind of weird, like, why are you getting involved in that? Now Lex is sending the Hammer of Boravia, I can't remember the name of it, I'm sorry if I said it wrong, but to attack Superman in Metropolis. So now the people are pissed off with Superman because for him intervening in that country's war, now they're fighting over at Metropolis, and hopefully there's no casualties. But he does show up that people help him up when he's down, and he takes whatever the kaiju or the hammer, the guy in the golden suit. Let's go up here, look up, take him away from Metropolis, keep it from people dying, in Metropolis. So he's trying to lead him away. At the same time, looks like Lex Luthor together with what's her name, the lady there, she's got the technology stuff. I can't remember her character's name. It comes to mind, the Oracle, but it's not. I'm sorry if I'm mistaken. But I can't remember it. She is breaking into the Fortress of Solitude with Lex. So Lex is trying to go in there. That's what happens, all this stuff. And then we see actually Crypto fighting as well, fighting back, which is going to be awesome to see. His pissed off that they're breaking in. So the whole thing was just trying to get Superman away from the fortress so they can go in and break in. And because Lex, he's either going to be the president or trying to be a president, because when Lois asked Superman, did you ask permission from the president? They show Lex Luthor. So it's like, why would you show Lex Luthor at the moment she is mentioning the president of the United States? If he had permission, he said, I don't care about that. And then, he has a little conversation with Jonathan Kent, his dad, human dad, from Earth, and say, the things you do and the way you act, it has meaning. It's like the way you them, you just hope, and that's the kind of Pa Kent that I want, giving him hope. You have to do the right thing. It doesn't matter. You're saving people. You risk your life to do the right thing and save people, and that's what the Jonathan Kent that I like, that I don't appreciate on other movies, where what do you want me to do? Just let them die? A bus full of people. Just let them die. I'm like, and Jonathan Kent's like, I don't know, maybe. Jonathan would never say that. He would never tell them to let people die. He didn't care. They can find out his secret, whatever it is. Just make sure you save people. That's your purpose, And that's a couple of things that I've been upset about the other iteration. Even though I love Henry Cavill and I think he's a perfect Superman, he looks the part. He's great. I think the way things turn on the Snyderverse, not for me. It's not the way I would have done it. But I'm not in charge of it. But this is more comic book, more cartoon, more of the Superman, what makes Superman great, and the story. We have to see. We'll see when the movie drops, and see if it's as good. Many people are upset about the choice of having the dog, or the choice of the suit, or the choice of David Cornsweet being Superman. What is he doing? We just got to see. I don't want to bash anything until I actually go to the movies and watch it. But they did let him use the John Williams score. He's heavily used in this trailer. It's actually first trailer. And they also using, if you see it when it says July 11th, they're using the letters like on the old Superman from Christopher Reeve when they show up, Marlon Brando, dun, 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 and then, Gene Hackman, dun, 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 and then they show those kind of letters. And then you see there the monitor. The monitor, I think it is what it is, right? Something like, I can't remember. I can't remember her name. She's fighting him, and also what we think it might be Ultraman, and then of course the Kaiju. They send all that. But yeah, it looks like everything is like it should be. Lex Luthor is behind. The reason why we see the three superheroes being Mr. Terrific, Guy Gardner, and Hawkgirl, which is not Shia Hall, is the other one that I can't remember her name at the moment. They all dressed up kind of like uniform, like they correlate with each other. So they're working with the government to get permission from the government, from the Department of Defense, from the president. They're the ones they acting in tandem with the government of the United States. Superman is not. He wants to do the right thing and stop people from dying, and he's the hope. That's why he's doing what he's doing, and that's what the problem is in this movie. What they're gonna deal with that, and first interview and all that stuff. I just can't wait. You can see. I'm gonna leave the link, or you can do it on YouTube. You can search on YouTube the trailer. I don't know what that ship is laying there. People being mad at him because he interfered in the war, across the globe, and now the war came to Metropolis. So that's what pretty much Luthor is trying to do, is actually capturing, because you can see the Metamorpho in his jail cell. He can turn himself into any element or any stuff that he knows that exists. So it's kryptonite. So his hand turns into kryptonite. That's why he's in that box with him, and Superman has to really struggle to break out of it, that we saw in the trailer. If you see in the actual movie trailer, not the teaser, and this one right here that we're watching, you can actually see Metamorpho has his hand turned into green kryptonite. That's why they keep him in there. They're trying to capture him and keep him in a box, just to see what he's doing. And that's when Luthor had the gun. And we'll see if he's going to try to shoot Superman or not. But see it right there. People are going to get hurt. Come on, look at me. Let's go up. Let's get out of the city. So I think this movie is going to have light heart, heavy heart. They're going to deal with real, actual world stuff. I'm not the first one to jump about bringing world stuff, but it's the world of superheroes. It's gonna be comedy, subtle comedy, and it's supposed to bring hope back. I don't mind the any of those themes if it's done the right way. That's when Luthor is trying to go into the fortress. You know, that's when. See, there it is. That was that one when he gets beat up. If you look at Metamorpho on the back, his hand is turned into kryptonite. That's why he's being beat up and stuff. And that's the war we're talking about. So we'll see. We'll see what the main theme is gonna be. But I think that's what it is. I think this that Luthor is behind all that crap. He's the one playing both teams just for his own benefit, for his own money. And I'm thinking it's just either he's going to be the president, running for president, or something. Because it's funny, she mentions president and they show him. So, but yeah, I can't wait. July 11th, I'm gonna be watching the movie first time it comes out. They usually have the midnight showing the night before of July 11th. We only got a couple of months, if that. A little less than a couple of months. There it is on theaters. I'm gonna try to go to IMAX. We're gonna watch on IMAX, and I will tell you all about it without spoilers. But I think we should watch the movie and give it a chance. If you're a Snyder fan, if you're not a Snyder fan, just give the movie a chance. You know, I gave Snyder a chance. I watched it. I can appreciate what Snyder did for what he did, and the story he was trying to tell. At least up until the Justice League, he had a vision, and this is what he wanted to do. Not my favorite, but I think he stuck with the story that he wanted. Batman versus Superman, I think it was a little too complicated for the story, the way it should have been. But at least he knew what he wanted, and that's what it is. That's what Snyder people are pissed off. They wanted the injustice part of it, and they were upset about that storyline ending, and they did wrong. They did Henry Cavill wrong. They didn't let Snyder finish. Uh, I wish they could have at least another movie about Snyder and finish that, and or maybe leave it on Elsewhere's, Elseworlds, or whatever they call it, and then you can have this by WB. But this is kicking out the whole universe of the new DC era, and hopefully it don't disappoint. I'm telling you, the trailer did give me a couple of chill moments of Talking Talking, or the John Williams theme song. My God, I'm so glad they brought that back. I don't know. It's just a couple of things that it looks amazing, and it looks like it's gonna be so much fun. It's not only about the action; it's just about representing the action correctly, and hopefully James Gunn understand that. Well, humans, maybe he mess it up. Maybe this is not gonna be great. I don't know. I'm just saying, give the movie a chance. Give this guy a chance. I think he looks the part. People are having issues with the suit. I get it. But you have to keep it different. There's Metamorpho with the kryptonite, but you got to keep it different. You got to keep going, and it's very heavily based on comic books and cartoons and All Star Superman. If you never read that storyline, just if you want to read it or read it afterwards, after the movie's done, just make sure, just keep it going, and just go see the movie. Just don't hate because you like something else better. If if you're not gonna watch it, that's fine too. That's fine. Just give other people a chance. This movie's for everybody. Marvel also has been doing so well at some point, and then it started going down too. So it's kind of lost interest on that. And so let's see if DC can bring it back up. We have the Supergirl movie already being filmed that goes in tandem with this one. We're gonna have the Green Lantern TV show. Of course, Creature Commander was already there, very mature. But you don't have to watch all of them to know this. Of course, we're waiting for the new Batman. Who's gonna be the new Batman and Robin? And they're gonna have they're talking about doing with Damian Wayne. And so it's going to be a little, Batman's going to be a little older than Superman. Superman ages a little bit different, but this will kick out a whole universe. Hopefully we'll see who's going to be the new Wonder Woman and things like that. I hate it because I love Gal Gadot. Wonder Woman, she looks the part, man. And that's the whole thing I hated about what WB did with Zack Snyder Vision, because they looked the part. I mean, even Ben Affleck, everybody was worried. And I like Ben Affleck. He was fine as Batman. I think he was fine. The Flash guy, he went cuckoo crazy, but he did great. I don't like the costume too much on the Zack Snyder. I don't like the Transformers type look of things, but that's the vision. You know, that is the vision, the mother box, you know, all the stuff. And I get it. I get it. But this is not. This is comic book. We'll see what we're doing. You know, she does the monitor, not the monitor. I can't remember her name. The lady. She does have the technology, nanobites or whatever, something on her. You can see her black suit moving kind of like Venom stuff, and she's also dragging herself on the ground when he's fighting on the stadium. And yes, she's gonna have a lot of power to fight him, and he was getting beat up at the moment there, you know. So sit right there. You can see how she's transforming her suit into weapons and stuff. So hopefully it don't disappoint. Please don't kill Crypto. Please don't kill Crypto. Because Superman comes back to the fortress. He was crying over the Killer X, the droid, and he was crying there. Hopefully he's, you know, Crypto's not dead as well. I don't think James Gunn would do that, kill the dog. But you never know. I hopefully don't. And I'm glad to see Martha again. So glad. I was worried that Martha was going to be dead, and we're not going to get a Martha, you know. And Martha and Jonathan, they're so important on what Superman represents. Even though he's Kryptonian, he's human. He was raised and here, pretty much almost born here, because, you know, he was a baby when he arrived, well, a little older, so it takes some time to get here. But that's what he is, you know. If you want to know how Superman is, you have to get Pa Kent and Martha Kent. You have to see how they are. The way they act, that's how Superman is going to be. So it's very important to have them in the story. But yeah, guys, I wanted to do a quick video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you agree with what I'm saying, if you don't, let's just have a conversation. Don't hate. You know, there's different alternatives that we had in the past. Even with Tyler Hoechlin, I never remember how to pronounce his name. He was really well done on the TV show, but the story was a WB type of story, or CW, I think. So you know. They went to the family version of it, but the parts that he was Superman, even the last season was really good. And you know, we got stories for everybody. We tried everything. I just, like I said, I wish they didn't give Henry Cavill the boot per se, and at least finish his storyline, which we never did. But you know, we had so much of other stuff on Superman animated series, Justice League. You have the comic books, you have Christopher Reeve, you have so many different ones that now we try to see what's going on with this one, and it's gonna hopefully it does what it's set up to do, is to touch, you know, the heart and give you hope, and see what it's all about, and then have a perfect villain. Hopefully this time they do Lex Luthor big justice, because Lex Luthor should be a piece of poop. He should be mean. He should be, you know, crazy. So hopefully we see a good Luthor. I don't think we've seen a really great Luthor in any live action, any of them. The closest one to be great was the CW series, Lois and Superman and Lois, which I think that Luthor, played by it's the guy from The Walking Dead, and you know, Abraham from The Walking Dead. I can't remember his name at the moment, and he actually did the closest where Lex Luthor should be. The Zack Snyder did Lex Luthor. He's an idiot. He's an idiot. I don't like him. He's an idiot. The way they wrote him, I'm not talking about the actor. I'm just talking about the story, the script and stuff. He's an idiot. And of course, Gene Hackman. I love Gene Hackman. Rest in peace. But that Luthor was a joke. So we never had a really good live action. If I'm wrong, let me know. Lex Luthor, that it actually represents what Luthor is. So hopefully we get a good thing going on. So yeah, let me know, guys. Stop off the chatter. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've seen the trailer. Let me know what you're expecting of this movie. And if you think it's going to be poop, just let me know too. I mean, you know, just... it's the way it is. It's not for everybody. Not every movie is for everybody. So maybe you don't want to see this. So, alrighty. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you stay tuned. We have a Darth Maul figure from Sideshow and Hot Toys. I'm going to be doing the unboxing and review of this bad boy sometime this week, and I'm going to post it on my channel. Just make sure you subscribe so you know, and when I post a new video. We do stream on Twitch. I just finished streaming some Lego Star Wars. We're going to be doing Walking Dead game, which is awful, but we're going to be doing that. We're doing Battlefront. We're doing all kinds of games. I have so many games that I stream daily, so make sure you go to my Twitch channel. Look on the comments below, and you can see it on the description of the video. And if you need to get in touch with me, leave a message, and we'll have this conversation going. If I missed something, let me know. And yes, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.